So in this part, we'll cover list and dictionaries. So I'm starting with the list. Like it is mutable tab in Python. The content of this can be enclosed inside a pair of square braces. And a square braces, as I have already told you, that whatever we are going to store in list, and the notation for list is square brackets. So see here, I have just copied the content from the tuple. Like see here, list containing same type of data, that is homogeneous kind of values, because there is a need of homogeneous and heterogeneous. So this is my duty to tell you about homogeneous and heterogeneous, where to use them. So over here, the first example says that the A square brackets 45, 67, and 89. So they are the integers. So this is a list, and see all the elements are enclosed within the square brackets. And the second is the list of floats: 67.5, 92.5, 87.5, 45.0. So this is all real number, and you can say the float values. And the third is the collection of the words or the strings, that is red, yellow, green. All are strings. And the last example, again it is a list, but this is the collection of integers, float, and strings. That is why you might say this is the heterogeneous kind of a structure, right? Hope screen is visible.
Sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir. It's
So see here. So the difference, you must have studied about tuples to keep tuples in your mind and compare at the juncture where it is needed. So here we have taken one list. It contains the values, five values for five integers: 45, 67, 89, 35, and 12. So here also every element of the list is indexed that begins from 0. So if I print A0, A3, it will give you 45 and 35, since index of 45 is 0 and index of 35 is 3. So when you print A0, it will print 45, and if you print A3, it will print 35. And the next example, A length of A minus 1. Length is a function method of the list. So len of A will give you 5, and 5 minus 1 is 4, and you want to print A4. So A4 is what? 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it will print 12 here. And the next is, when you apply A0 plus A1, means you wanted to add 45 and 67, it will add as 112 and 124. Now I'm using for loop in this structure A, that is list A, for I in A. That means I'm scanning or traversing the entire list. So for I in A, so it will print each of the elements, and every element will be uh, separated by dash sign, and every next element will be printed in the same line, since we have used the hand manipulator. So entire list will be, or the elements of the entire list will be printed in the same line. So when I said print I, so it will print first element, that is 45. After 45, then minus, then 67 and minus, and so on. And after printing the entire list, it will come to the print statement. And due to this print statement, the line which has been already printed, list already printed, the cursor will change the line and come to the next line, so that next printing will be done in the next line. So here, if I run this segment for C in range length of A, so length of A is 5. So it begins from 0 and goes up to index 4. So over here, while printing all the values of the list, when you say AC, after printing the value of the list, hash sign will be there after every element. So it will also, you can say, entire list will be printed in the same line, and every element will be followed by the hash sign. So see here, 45 hash, 67 hash, 89 hash, 35 hash, and 12 hash. So this way we can traverse a list. Now, see here, there are some similarities between these two structures like list and tuples, that are like, if you use plus operator, means you are going to concatenate two lists, and in addition, if you use these mathematical operators like minus, into, floor division, modulo, and exponential, like tuple, these are not supported in list also. Like if you say C is equal to A plus B, A plus B means what? You are going to add 23 to 50, 45 to 60, and maybe null to 70. So like tuple, it is also not possible to add the content of, the values of the list on corresponding indexes. Like, so if you apply C is equal to A plus B, this means that A and B, two lists are concatenated. So when you print it, it will print 23, 45, 50, 60, and 70. And if you swap the positions of A and B and apply concatenation on B and A, this will give you 50, 60, 70. These are the values of B list, and after B, there will be two values added that are that belong to list A, so 23 and 45. So when you print D, it will produce 50, 60, 70, 23, and 45. Another example, NML is equal to, see here, NML is equal to ANU and J. So this is the list of strings. So Anu and J are the members of NML. When you concatenate with Lee, so Anu, J, and Lee are concatenated, and the list is stored in variable M. Right. So when you say, if you apply this operation concatenation, M is equal to Ken plus N. So Ken will be the first element of the list. If you print M, and the N list will be concatenated to Ken. So M will have Ken, Anu, J, and Lee. Okay. Now here, L is equal to 10, NML, and Zen. So here this is the concatenation again, but you will not see any error, as we had seen this in tuple while we are concatenating these strings. So in the case of tuple, it showed the error, type error, because after 10 there was no comma. Similarly, after Zen there was no comma. But over here, 10 is enclosed within the square brackets, and Zen also enclosed in the square brackets. So when you apply concatenation, it will give you 10 Anu, J, and Zen. So you will observe that there is no error if you uh, remove comma after 10 or remove comma after 10. Okay, next. Like tuple, we can apply this operator like into sign, but like tuple, it will also repeat these things. Say this call is a list of colors, red and blue, and when you multiply 2 to call means you are repeating call 2 times. And when you apply this, this could be like 2 into call, both are same. Call into 2, red and blue will be repeated 2 times. Right? So again, next example, num is equal to 1, 2, 3, and you say print 3 comma num. So 1, 2, 3 will be repeated 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1. Okay. Now next, as we observe that while taking input for the tuple, it showed error because we did not concatenate comma there in the end of the input statement, which since that was the tuple. But over here, if you do not put comma or you don't require to put any symbol, and list is visibly take the values as input. Like for I in range 4, it will take name, and each name will be concatenated to list variable L. So first I take Amar, so the value of L will become Amar. Next I'll take Akbar, so it will be concatenated to the L. So the last value of L was Amar, and Akbar is concatenated. So the value of L will be Amar and Akbar. And finally, on third attempt, I gave Anthony. Anthony will be concatenated like Amar, Akbar, Anthony. And at the last, since this loop will go up to 4 iterations, so in fourth attempt, if I take Roma as the fourth value, so it will also be concatenated to the values of the L, and the values of L were Amar, Akbar, Anthony, and when you take Roma, Roma will be concatenated to L. So when you print L, we'll see Amar, Akbar, Anthony, and Roma, and all will be in the square brackets, right? So it means to add new content or concatenation in a list, it is must to enclose it in a pair of square braces or brackets. Next, this mutability, as we observe that tuple and strings were immutable structures, and contrary to it, list is a mutable structure. That means the values of the list can be modified, values can be inserted, values can be sorted, which was not available in tuple. So over here you can insert the values. Over here you can sort the values. Whereas in tuples, we could use sorted to sort the values of tuple. But over here, we use sort to sort the list. So see here, I take a list like 23, 45, 67, and 78. When you say print A, it will print 23, 45, 67, and 78 as usual. And but in the second step, when I modify the value of index 0, value of index 0 is 23, but over here I am modifying the value of index 0. So A0 is 38, means 23 will be replaced by 38. Similarly, A2 is 67, so 67 will be replaced by 65 here. So when you print, say print A, it will print 38. See here, 38, 45, 65, and 78. And in addition, if you want to add, or if you want to apply any other operation or arithmetical operation, that is also possible. So for I in range length a, so length of a is 4, so it will run 0 1 2 3, and every time I am adding integer 2 to the value of each index. So when I apply ai plus is equal to 2, means the previous value of index I will will have the addition with 2. So the previous value of I is 38. So 38 plus 2, A0 will be 40 now. When you say print AI, means print A0. So after printing the value, the manipulator and asterisk, and asterisk will be printed besides A0. So it will be seen like 40 into. Now the next index is 1. So index 1 value is 45. When 45 has addition of 2, it becomes 47. So print AI and asterisk will print 47 and asterisk. Similarly 67 and 80. So every time you are seeing that the value of each index is incremented by 2. So this is possible in list, but this was not possible in string and tuple as well. Okay, and over here you will observe that no list, uh, I mean the notification of list, which is square brackets, are not printed here along with this output. But when you say print A, it will print the entire list in square brackets. Okay, now next. This is list membership, whether the particular element exists in the structure or not. So when exists in the structure, it shows the value, and if doesn't, that will show it is not in the list. Okay, so we have three lists here. One is the stock, which is having A and its value is 25. Then value first value is A, second value is 25, third value is 32, and fourth value is C. So this is list one. Second list is A comma B, it's the list of characters, and the third list is entirely the list of values, that's 25, 32, and 61. So we have three lists here. Now see the membership, how does it work? For S in stock, means we are traversing stock list. So when you C, since S is the variable which is traversing stock. So first value of stock is A. So yeah, we are checking whether A in the item, whether means the value of first value of this stock is available in the list item. So the value of the first value of the stock is A, and it is very well available in item list, that is A. So it will print S, means A is in item, because this A is available in second list. We are taking the value from stock and we are checking the membership of this value in item list. So since A is available in item, it will show S is in item. So S is what? A is in item list. See here, A is in item. So and now come to this. If S in, that is A in values, so this is not there in values, A is not available in the values, list of values, so it will show S is not in the values. So second output is this. Now it will take the next value 25, but over here when you say S in item, so this is 25 is not in item. Sorry, in item it is not available. And when you check whether 25 is available in values, yes, it is available very well. So it will show print S, that is 25 is in values, because यहाँ पर condition आपकी गलत थी, that is why it was not printed. But over here the value 25 is available in list values, in values list, so it will show 25 is in values. Now next value is 32. So 32 uh, is not available in item. In item list 32 is not available, so it is not printed. But if you see 32 is available in values, so it will print 32 is in values, so it is printed. Now the next value is C. C is not in item, so it will not be printed. C is not in values as well, so this is statement, that is C is in values, will not be printed. Rather, C is not in values message will be printed. Hope this example, membership example, is clear. We can do it practically, and you will be able to understand or grasp the gist of this slide. Now next, see here, you will observe that over here I am going to typecast some values. So if you see A is equal to 25, 56, and 34, so A is a tuple here, right? And when you say print A and length of A, so print of A means you are going to print 25, 56, and 34 along with the length of A. So length of A is 3. So it will print 25, 56, 34. This is the tuple, and along with the length of the tuple, that is 3. So first example or the first output says 25, 56, 34, and the length of tuple A 3. And over here I am going to typecast the tuple, means I am converting this tuple into list. Now A will become the list here. So when you print A, so all the three elements like 25, 56, and 34 will be printed in square brackets along with the length. Now, in place of parentheses or rounded brackets, we'll see the entire list, the entire or the complete group of integers is enclosed within the square brackets. So see here, 25, 56, 34, and the length is 3. Now here, you'll observe a dot append. So append function will take place and it is available in list only. It is not available in tuples. So over here, while giving this method or writing this method, a dot append, we were adding 25 to the existing list. Since from this phase, A has become the list. But before this statement, A was a tuple. Since A is a list, so append is possible. So when you say append 25, so next value will be 25. So A will have four values here, 25, 56, and 34. And when you print it like A and length of A, so A is 25, 56, 34, and 25, and length of this list will be 4. See. And the next example, A dot append and. So in previous case, I had appended 25. Now I am appending the string to the list. So the values of the list are 25, 56, 34, and 25. And in addition, the word or the string is concatenated to this list. So now it becomes 25, 56, 34, 25, and the length of A will be 5. So these are the functions of the list, then list and append. Now, in the next example or next slide, again this is the same. But over here, some discrepancy you might face that if you are taking one list like 25, 56, and 34, while printing this, it will print 25, 56, 34 along with length that is 3. And in the second case, 45 and 29. And when you print it, uh, so B is not printing here, rather A again is printed here. Now see, A dot append B. So what is B? B is 45 and 29. Now 45 and 29 list, this is a list, is appended to A. So now A will become like this, 25, 56, 34, and the new list is added or concatenated. So it will become the nested list 45 and 29. So number of elements of this list are 4 only, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because 45 and 29 is a complete list, so it will be counted as one list. So total number of elements would be 4 here, 25, 56, 34, and 45, 29. So this is on index 3, 45. If you print like 3 comma 0, if you print like A3 comma 0, means you are going to print the third index element, and out of the third element, because this is again a list, the 0 index value will be printed. So when you say A30, now 45 will be printed, and A31, 29 will be printed, but number of values are 4. Okay. When you say print B and length of B, so B is 45 and 29, and length of B is 2. Okay. Over here, you will observe a miracle, or you might feel it out, that when I am going to compare type of I variable, which is traversing list A. So when I am comparing this type of list and comparing this with whether this is this item type I is a list or not. So remember here, the type returns the data type of content. This type I will return the data type of the content, not the structure. So over here, when you compare this, if type I, so on index 3, this is 45 and 29. So it will not say this is a list because these are the integers. And that is why one position is written here that type type function or type method will return the data type of the content. So data type the content is integer, so it becomes false here. तो ये आपका सही नहीं है क्योंकि ये हमेशा डेटा टाइप जो है वो चेक करेगा, कंटेंट का डेटा टाइप चेक करेगा, ना कि स्ट्रक्चर का डेटा टाइप. So over here, type I is not a list, and that is why it comes to the else part where this is written I 25, 56, 34, and third index value is 45 and 28. This is again a list. And after printing this, because ये जो print हो रहा है in the same line just because of this and operator, after each value will see asterisk mark inserted. So 25 asterisk mark inserted, 56 asterisk mark inserted, 34 asterisk mark inserted, 45 and 29. This is the list. सॉरी इसमें भी आपका asterisk आएगा because after value I gonna print asterisk sign, and this is the last statement which will be printed in the next line, since actually यहाँ पर एक print रह गया, otherwise ये hash की जो है आपको यही मिलेगा if you run this program. But this is because since alignment and indentation, if you see the indentation of this print and this print, the indentation of both these statements is similar, but this is out of the loop. So this will naturally it will come to the next line. Please hold. Next. Here you will observe two methods, append and extend. The functions of both the methods more or less is similar, but extend includes some additional feature. It does not work as append. It cannot append any particular integer or particular value to the list. So see here, uh, the explanation of append is adds its arguments, parameters as a single element to the end of the list. The length of the list itself will increase by 1. If you append any single value to the list, its length will automatically be incremented by 1. But over here in extends, if you are trying to add or append a value or extends a value, it will show type error because it can add the structure only, not the single value. So when you say A is a list, and if you are going to append value 32, it is taken. So it is correct. But if you use like A dot extend 32, it will show type error. But in place of 32, if you add this structure like 3245, it works. Yani, you are taking the complete structure. You are extending the list here. So it will take. Now this is correct, but over here this gives the exception, that is type error. So in this example, on the right side of append, we'll add a single value, whereas extend will extend the list by two elements or the complete structure. Hope this is clear, and this is a little difference between append and extend. So another method, another example. So if you take 25, 56, 34, again this is a list, and the length of this is 3, and again the length of this is 2. When you say a dot extend, it will extend the list. So the second list, 45 and 29 in B list, will be appended to A. Okay. So see here, when you print A and length of A, it will print 25, 56, 34, 45, and 29 along with the length. So this is the result of this. But over here, if you see, because type checks the type of the individual data item, and that is why it is it will not come from that the type I is a list when it comes to 45 and 29. So you will come to this statement directly. The value of the list ends with the asterisk, value of the list ends with the asterisk. So this way the output is printed. Just a second. Insert method. This is available in list only. It is not possible in your this thing tuple. So see here, on particular index, if you want to insert any value, it takes. So see here, this is the list 25, 56, and 34. So when you say a dot insert at index 1, insert 45. So when you say print a, now it will print 25, then 45, then 56, and 34, and length of a will be 4 now. See the example. Okay. See the next element. If you see a dot insert 0, 12, it is written. That means in the beginning 12 is inserted, whose index now become 0. Number of elements are 5 and the length is 5. Now come to this position. A dot insert 100, 76. Now observe 100 index is not available. 100 index is not available. So it will be appended or it will be inserted in the end of the list. Since 100 index is not available, so 76 will be inserted in the last here. And when you print it, it will print likewise and gives the length 6. On index 1, we are going to insert a list 39 and 91. So see here, 39 and 91 list is inserted at position or index 1. Okay, so if you print the length of this, it will print it 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is the output. Now
सर
insert.
सॉरी
Sir.
फॉर टाइम्स चेक कर लो.
Please mute your mic. So I'm finishing it off here. Then I'll give you time. A dot insert. A dot insert 100 and 48. Since again 100 index is not there and you are trying to insert a list over here, so it is not possible. So when you print, it will print the entire list along with the lists. Nested list 12 and list 25, 45, 56, 30, 34, 76, and in the end you'll see another list. And when you find the length of A, it will give you age. Okay, so the next slide will also be on the methods of list. So I am finishing it off here, and I'm giving you a chance to ask any question if you want
अरे
to.
सर सर इंग्लिश की क्लास है सर अब कहाँ गए